today I'm making homemade granola. So here I am putting in some chopped nuts. I roughly chopped them, and some of them are pretty fine because it was at the bottom of the bag. I use this Kirkland brand Healthy Heart mix of nuts. It has walnuts, pistachios, hazelnuts, lots of good stuff in there. Okay, I'm going to throw in some flaxseed. I'm going to go with a half a cup of ground flaxseed. Flaxseed has a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, so that's a way to decrease inflammation in the body, and it's good for your gut. There's a lot of fiber. The reason I use ground flax versus whole flax, the whole flax seed can be a little bit harder to digest. So having it ground up, it's already had the hard work, the chewing. I'm just looking for about 1/4 of a cup of chia seeds. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, chia seeds. You see, even on here it says omega-3. I have a little mix of sunflower seeds, a half a cup of sunflower seeds, and a half a cup of sprouted pumpkin seeds. I'm dumping that in there. 1 cup of coconut, shredded coconut, unsweetened. Okay, this is the last of our dry ingredients, and that is 2 cups of sprouted oats, organic oats. I'm going to give this a stir. Just a light toss, so you start to see an even distribution of all the dry ingredients. We have some seasonings here ready to go. I'm gonna set those aside, and I'm going to do that actually after I get the wet ingredients. That way it doesn't all just fall to the bottom and then you end up with just wet seasonings. Okay, a half a cup of coconut oil, 3/4 cup of pure maple syrup. And what I'm going to do is put a tablespoon of vanilla or a little more. That's why you always do this over a bowl. Yummy. That's pure maple syrup. So that's my kind of sugar substitute. You can also use honey. You really can't go wrong with granola. You really can't. You could make it with just almonds, sliced almonds, pecans, all sorts of yummy goodies. Okay, again, just evenly coating everything with the wet ingredients. And I want to really get a good mix of the the coconut oil and maple syrup. All right, now it's time for our seasonings. What I have here is roughly 1.5 tablespoons of seasonings. You can use whatever you want to do. Isn't that great? I've got a teaspoon of salt. That is the one thing. A teaspoon of salt, and then go from there. That would leave you with about a tablespoon, a little over a tablespoon of seasonings to come up with. So I have cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice. You could even put just a little heat, put a little cayenne in there. Cayenne is actually really good for your metabolism. I added that in after the wet ingredients to make sure that the seasonings did not just fall straight to the bottom. It starts to stick right away. Okay, don't need to go too crazy here. I lined it with parchment paper. Evenly spread it in a nice thin layer. I want to make sure that I don't have the bulk of it in the middle, because the edges will actually get pretty brown before the middle will. So I don't want everything to cook and get crisp at a different rate. So I'm just going to make sure that the bulge moves, you know what I'm saying. Bulge out of the middle. And in the oven it goes for 30 minutes or so. I'm going to check it after 15, give it a little toss, and just make sure it's on a good track, that my oven hasn't started on fire, lots of things. So I'm going to get this in the oven 30 minutes, check it after 15, go from there. I'm back with granola. It's all done. All right, and it's cooled down. So what you're looking for is that slightly golden brown look. You're looking for this. And it will still be soft. It will harden, become clusters. That is so satisfying. Oh my God, guys. It will harden and become clusters as it dries, I store this in the pantry. Put it in a little glass jar so it's cuter that way. You can also put it in Ziploc bags or whatever you want. My kids love having this around. I love to just eat it out of the bag or the jar. If your child can do dairy, this is amazing on yogurt. You can do plant-based yogurt, anything like that. You could put it on baked apples. Oh my God. Like there's a lot of versatility here. Thanks again for joining me. Until next time.